You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Well, the Yankees ready for this Ferris wheel of the West Coast to stop as they play their 11th and final road game in 10 days, and it will come at Safeco Field. As Hyundai presents the Sunday game of the week, it's the Yankees against the Mariners in the fourth and final game of this four-game set from Seattle, Washington. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside David Cohn. Happy to be with you on this Sunday afternoon here on Yes. Real opportunity here for the Yankees today. After a tough loss yesterday, they win today, they win the series, they make it a winning road trip, they go back home with some good feelings, and instead of Luis Cessa, they turn to Caleb Smith to make his first big league start.
Yeah, and I like this move. You know, anytime you get a chance to get a look and develop a young left-handed starter, boy, you take it. I mentioned in the pregame, how about Andy Pettitte? How about Jordan Montgomery? They're just so hard to find and develop. The Yankees have one here. He's got a starter's repertoire, fastball, breaking ball, and a really good changeup. We'll see what he does today in his major league debut as a starter.
And his AAA numbers have been outstanding. 8-0 with a 2.07 ERA, about a strikeout per inning. The walks and hits both in check, and the 2.01 opponent's average. Now, one hitter that Caleb Smith will have to contend with is Robinson Cano. Obviously, Yankees fans know him very well, and he has been a difficult out all series long.
Yes, I mean, is there extra motivation against your former team? Hey, speaking from experience, the answer is yes, no doubt. You know it feels better. How does that translate? Well, you know he tries to get hit every time he's up there, but there's a little extra concentration level against these Yankees, and he has come up big. Robbie can go line to line. Yankee fans know what type of a swing he has. It's beautiful. You pitch him in, he hits it. You pitch him away. D-Rob's still wondering about that pitch. That was a pretty good pitch, and Robbie shot him the other way, so no doubt. Robinson Cano's got a Hall of Fame resume.
I mean, look at it. A world champion, an 8-time All-Star, 2 Gold Gloves, 5 Silver Sluggers, won the World Baseball Classic, and 2,306 hits as that number continues to climb. So what went into the decision to start the lefty Caleb Smith over the righty Luis Cessa, who had been scheduled? Meredith Marakovitz gets that answer from Joe Girardi next, right here on Yes.
David mentioned, the Yankees decided to make a pitching change, so it'll be Caleb Smith getting the ball this afternoon instead of Luis Cessa. I had the opportunity to sit down with Joe Girardi to ask him what went into making that decision.
When you look at this club, you know, obviously they're very offensive, but they've actually fared better against right-handers, number one. Number two, Caleb has pitched well in AAA, and we liked what we saw when we saw him pitch in Minnesota, so we somewhat prepared him for it. Told him if he wasn't used last night, we would start him today, and then we're going to give him a shot.
What did you like out of what you saw from him in the first appearance that you saw?
Stuff for number one. Number two, I liked his mound presence and how aggressive he was, and he came out and threw strikes. And we don't necessarily need a ton of innings out of him, but you know, we just liked what we saw.
Also noteworthy, an official roster move made today. Starlin Castro placed on the DL. Tyler Wade is here taking his spot on the roster. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, David Cohn will be joined by Ryan Ruocco. They'll have the call of the game after the break.
Part by Hyundai. There's no better time to buy a new Hyundai than now. See your local Hyundai dealer or visit buyhyundai.com. By NYU Langone Orthopedics, and by Bigelow Tea, who encourages you to grab a mug and tea proudly. Well, you've heard this before. It's another gorgeous summer day in Seattle. Just a perfect weekend here in Washington, and we will take a look at today's Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. Once again, it is Brett Gardner playing in center field leading off, and Clint Frazier in the two-hole playing left. Aaron Judge homered in the last two games. He will bat third. Gary Sanchez catches for a fourth straight day, and he bats cleanup. Matt Holliday is the DH. Didi Gregorius behind him. Chase Headley back at first base against the right-hander. Todd Frazier is trying to get going, just 1 for 13 since the trade. He bats eighth. And Tyler Wade recalled and in the lineup, batting ninth and playing second.
Here's the veteran righty, Yovani Gallardo. Been kind of a rough season on there. It's been interrupted a bit. You know, high ERA, strikeouts are down. Pretty reliable veteran starter. Let's tell you a little bit more about him in our pitcher scouting report. And he's back in the rotation. He was taken out on June 17th, and you know why by the numbers we just showed you. But in the bullpen, he earned his way back. He only gave up 1 earned run in 16 innings out of the bully. And you know, I talked about the veteran presence of Gallardo. He's all over the Mexican-born leaderboard. And when you think about pitchers that have pitched in the big leagues that were born in Mexico, the top of the list has got to be Fernando Valenzuela, Fernando Mania. But Giovanni Gallardo's right behind him. He's second in ERA and strikeouts in that category. So has represented his country well overall.
They liked what he did out of the bullpen, and so he gets this return to the rotation. We'll see the defense behind him, presented by Geico. Across the outfield, Ben Gamel, Guillermo Heredia, Mitch Haniger. In the infield, Kyle Seager, who has dazzled all series, Gene Segura, Robinson Cano, Danny Valencia at first, and Carlos Ruiz, the backup catcher, will catch Gallardo. Yankees trying to win their first series since June 9th through the 11th against the Orioles. Would also make it a winning road trip. A game Joe Girardi called an important one for those reasons before the Yankees head home for a long homestand.
But just hearing you say that, Ryan, that is a long time for a team that was 15 games over 500. In over a month, they have not won a series, and makes today's game all the more important.
Gardner cracks that deep right field. Racing back is Haniger, looking up, and that is gone. Brett Gardner with a leadoff home run in a career-high tying 17th blast of the season.
That is remarkable. Number 17 for Brett Gardner, and this is just a laser, a fastball right in the wheelhouse. Drop the helmet, trot around the bases. Yankees up 1-0.
Hit 17 in 2014, a career high, and he has matched that with plenty of time left here in 2017. About some of the home runs he's hit this season, David, they've been timely. You know, the blast the other night to break a 0-0 game when Felix Hernandez was dealing. The home run in Chicago, of course, at Wrigley Field. The 3-run shot when the Yankees were down to their last strike. It's a game they really want to have, and that gives them the first run on the board.
And he doesn't hit a lot of cheapies. I mean, this is legitimate, as we said, a bolt in a big ballpark.
Frazier goes down on strikes on the high curveball. Let's look at the game time weather presented by City MD. Feeling under the weather? Just walk into City MD Urgent Care. And it is 68 degrees. You can feel it's a little cooler today. Partly cloudy. Another pleasant summer afternoon. Here is Judge, who has homered in each of the last 2 games. Putting to bed any of those concerns about post-All-Star break.
Just something for somebody to talk about, right? Some sort of jinx. The one thing Aaron Judge has done all year long is just handle himself on such an even keel. The way he handles interviews, his approach at the plate, newfound fame.
You saw even the other night when Meredith was talking to him after his majestic blast. He is so careful trying not to talk about himself. And he's maintained this even-keeled, humble approach throughout the entire year. Good swing there, just missed it. 2-2.
There is a quiet confidence there, though, that is palpable when you hang around Aaron Judge. And as you mentioned, Ryan, yes, of course, he's very humble and proper deference to the veterans, team first player. But yes, he's a confident young man.
No doubt. And a lot of times, David, I feel like when people see someone who keeps it even keeled and is obviously humble in their remarks, they assume that he doesn't also have that burning inner confidence and faith in himself. No, no, no. He definitely has that. And Judge drives that deep to right field. Haniger back, should have room as he drifts just in front of the wall for the second out.
Well, you're almost surprised when you hear a loud sound and a high fly that it doesn't get out of here. But this isn't the Bronx. That's way out
yes.
in Yankee Stadium, but a good approach, a good swing.
Now here's Sanchez with 3 infielders on the left side. And Sanchez hits it right to Cano. And that will end the first. But Brett Gardner with his career-high tying 17th home run of the year, leading off the game with a blast to right center, and the Yankees have a 1-0 lead. The Yankees have held in check this series. He leads off Danny Valencia because the lefty on the mound slides up to 2. Robinson Cano third. Nelson Cruz in the 4th spot with Kyle Seager behind him. Mitch Haniger will bat 6th. Ben Gamel moves from 2 to 7th in the lineup because of the lefty. Guillermo Heredia in there, and then Carlos Ruiz, the backup catcher, rounds out the Mariners lineup.
You get a look at the young left-hander, Caleb Smith. He's been in a game already, so the debut is done, but this is his first major league start. And let's tell you what we know about Caleb Smith in our pitcher's scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And yes, opportunity knocks almost as if it was a surprise. They didn't tell him, or nobody knew until last night. They made the announcement. Maybe that's a good thing. The AAA breakthrough, we mentioned it, so did Meredith Marakovitz about his 8-0 record and a 2.07 ERA in AAA this year, and he's got starter stuff. I mean, he showed a good changeup in his debut, and I think Joe Girardi and Larry Rothschild like what they saw, and that's why he's getting this start today.
And David, to your credit, this was a move that you've been anticipating a bit over the last couple of days.
Yeah, I thought he was really impressive. I know that in AAA, obviously, those numbers speak for themselves, but in his debut, his first 2 innings were sharp. He ended up giving up those runs in the 3rd inning, but his overall repertoire was impressive.
He also worked noticeably quickly on the mound, and one of the things Joe Girardi was talking about today was really liking his mound presence. Popped up, into right center. Gardner there, 1 out. We'll take a look at the defense behind Smith. It is presented by Geico. Clint Frazier in left field. Brett Gardner at center. Judge in right. Todd Frazier at third with Didi Gregorius and the newly recalled Tyler Wade at second. Chase Headley gets the start at first against the righty Gallardo. And Gary Sanchez, catching a 4th straight day, catches Caleb Smith. Now, normally you may have thought, well, day game after night game, probably give Sanchez off. But off day tomorrow, and then the next day is Jordan Montgomery starting. So good chance Gary Sanchez won't catch for 2 days after this.
You know, good changeup. You know, Smith will feature. You see Valencia's numbers on the year. He will feature a good low to mid 90s fastball, good breaking ball, and a really good changeup. 93 on the black there. He's got the formula. Changeup away at 83 on the first pitch on the black away, and then 93 on the inside corner with the second pitch. So in and out, and a breaking ball to complement both of those 2 pitches.
Well located on a 1-2 delivery.
So he's not the prototypical power pitcher, but he's not a soft tosser. His fastball's quick.
You know what's interesting, David, too, is as he gets ready to wind up, he kind of tucks his hands at his hips rather than holding him in front of him.
Kind of a good way to disguise your grips.
Swing and a miss. Valencia down on strikes, 95 from Caleb Smith.
Well, here's the quick part. A couple of changeups, sets it up, and right on by. Valencia not expecting that velocity, as you see how late this swing is. Almost in the glove before he commits.
Now, when Smith came out of the pen in that game against Minnesota, he was throwing 97 his first inning of work, and he admitted he was just a little juiced up, that's not where he's living when he's starting. Nice off-speed delivery there, 0-1. Said usually 92 to 94, occasionally going to hit 95, maybe a 96. Comfortable with all 3 pitches, as David's talked about. Fly ball left field. Frazier underneath it, in front of the track for a nice smooth 1-2-3 first inning from Caleb Smith. The Yankees a 1-0 lead after 1. We'll take a look at today's injury report, brought to you by Montefiore, doing more in state-of-the-art healthcare. injuries to the Seattle rotation. Big reason why Gallardo is starting this game. Masashi Iwakuma has been on the DL since May 7th with right shoulder inflammation. Drew Smyly hasn't pitched this season because of a left arm flexor strain.
That hurts. Those are two really good pitchers.
And because of it, Seattle's been searching in the rotation for a while. They also were without Felix Hernandez for a good chunk of time as he had the right shoulder bursitis. Big numbers against Giovanni Gallardo for Matt Holliday. Holliday yesterday had a double and a sac fly. 1 for 4. That in the air to center. Heredia. 1 down. Now here's Didi Gregorius. Last night, Didi was pinch run for in the 9th inning with 2 outs. He was on first. Jacoby Ellsbury pinch ran, stole second, scored on the game-tying base hit by Ronald Torreyes that eventually sent the game into extras. And we had seen Didi kind of land awkwardly on his ankle. Wondered, was that part of the reasoning for the pinch running? No, nothing to do with it. Joe Girardi was just trying to steal a bag there. He said once you get to 2 outs, the chances of getting back-to-back hits off of Diaz slim. So wanted somebody who could get into scoring position, even though Didi has good speed. Ellsbury a much better base stealer. So he went with the move, and it certainly worked out. Gregorius slams that to right field. Haniger back at the wall. It is gone. Didi Gregorius stays toasty hot. His 13th homer of the year. It's 2-0 Yankees.
Well, Giovanni Gallardo's always had a good slider in his prime, but that's what's hurt him this year is his inability to bury it, and that's what this one is. It just rolls and hangs right there and allows Didi Gregorius to speed up his bat. And with the proper launch angle, that's got enough to get out of here.
So the Yankees, with a couple of solo home runs, take a 2-0 lead.
You can see that, you know, hitters, that's what you call speeding up the bat on off-speed pitches that hang in the zone. It allows hitters more time to get the bat head out in front.
Gallardo as a starter this year, 3-7, 6.30. And he's done a lot of that, turning around and watching it fly.
It's hard when that's always been your best pitch and you kind of lose a feel for it. And I know that feeling very well, and it's helpless when you're on the mound. Headley quietly raising his batting average about 30 points up to 262 now.
Headley walks. So the 4 righties have been retired. The 3 lefties have gone homer, homer, walk.
It's a great formula to give a young a young starter a little cushion to work with early in this ball game for Caleb Smith.
There's Todd Frazier, 1 for 13 since the trade. In the air to right field. Haniger backing up will make the catch for the second out. And here is Tyler Wade. Quickly back up after Starlin Castro re-injured that hamstring. Wade was 3 for 28 in his first taste of the big leagues. Has excellent numbers at AAA this season.
Well, make no mistake about it, Tyler Wade's a good prospect, a good athlete with speed. He's earned his way here all the way through the Yankee system. Great numbers in AAA. True shortstop that now can just about play anywhere.
He and Aaron Judge are very close, and I was talking to Judge about Wade, and he said, you know, a lot of guys who played the shortstop position as well as Wade has throughout the minor leagues, they might say, hey, I'm a shortstop, this is where I want to stay. He has been so open and willing to play anywhere the Yankees want as he continues to develop.
Excellent speed too, that allows him to play in the outfield.
Wade slams that to right field, a base hit. Headley rounding second. He's headed for third. It's cut off by Haniger. And a 2-out double from Tyler Wade as the Yankees threatening here in the second.
Another hanging off speed pitch by Gallardo. More of a changeup, and Wade just stays back just enough. Goes down and digs this out, hooks it in the corner. And he's got some wheels.
And you know his buddy Aaron Judge likes that. When Tyler Wade was in the PCL, Judge was hurt. And so he spent that whole season in Tampa, and that's where they bonded and became so close. And Tyler Wade said Judge was almost like a big brother figure for him, a few years older than him. Gardner got the scoring started with a pasted home run over the 380 sign in right to lead off the game. His 9th career leadoff home run, his 3rd of the season. Fights that off slowly to the right side. Cano will glove, flip, and get Gardner to end the inning. For the Yankees, add another run. Thanks to another lefty bat, Didi Gregorius comes around the slider and hooks it out to right. 2-0 Yankees as we go to the bottom of the second. By Toyota, Prius Prime is the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. We've asked on Twitter, what were your impressions of Caleb Smith during his MLB debut in Minnesota this past Monday? Many of you responded, including Jake Skolnick, NY. I thought he looked very good. His fastball has good life, and he mixes his off-speed pitches well. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using the hashtag Yankees Prius Prime to keep the conversation going. 2-0 Yankees here in the bottom of the second. A couple of solo homers by Brett Gardner and Didi Gregorius. You know, that was one of the impressions of Larry Rothschild. I was talking to him earlier today from Smith's start too. Said the fastball had more power than I realized.
Yeah, power and life and command. You know, there's more to evaluating pitches than just velocity. What kind of life, spin rate, command.
Loud sound, deep fly ball center field. Gardner underneath it on the track, makes the catch for the first out.
Here's heartbeat. Thump, 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 thump. Nelson Cruz with his boomstick. Thinks he got it. Watch this reaction. Just a can of corn.
What do you think of the throwback Mariners jerseys, David?
Well, you know, it's their 40th anniversary. So, you know, there's a throwback and there's a throwback, right? I mean, Seattle's got a rich baseball history all the way back. You know, the Pilots, the Seals, San Francisco Seals, actually. But yeah, the West Coast and up and down the West Coast has a long baseball history. Maybe not in the major leagues. Still people who live in Brooklyn that want their Dodgers back, but.
See the 40th anniversary patch on the jerseys. Of course, Joe DiMaggio was a San Francisco Seal.
Yes.
He actually had a 61-game hitting streak for the Seals.
So, you know, that throwback uniform just kind of fits right in, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing distinctive about it, but this is a great sports town and a great baseball town.
That's ripped to right field, a base hit for Seager. Judge will go and get it. We know he has a cannon. He'll fire into second, and sliding in safely is Seager with a one-out double.
Well, Seager can hit righties, he can hit lefties. This pitch in, looks like Sanchez wanted it away, so Caleb left it in. And Seager cuts him off at the pass for a double, and there's no way this is even going to be close, but look at Aaron Judge. Just to make it a little bit interesting. It's not only the arm strength from Aaron Judge, but the accuracy that's starting to impress.
Routine fly ball, center field. Gardner there for the second out. By the way, David, they do wear these uniforms every Sunday here in Seattle. Right, not an overly aggressive throwback, but just enough.
Yeah, it's.
And you talk about what a sports town it is. The athletes who play here love playing here.
The loudest fans I've ever heard in the Kingdome. You know, I keep talking about that '95 series. Think it still bothers me, Ryan? Yeah, it still bothers me.
That always amazes me because clearly the success came after. You won 4 World Series with the Yankees after that '95 loss, but you still think about that series.
I remember that game more than any other game.
Dribbled to third. Todd Frazier will throw out Gamble and end the inning. 2-0 as we go to the third, and Aaron Judge has already gone yard twice in this series. Does he have a third in him? He'll bat in the third here at Safeco. With the Yankees leading 2-0, and we'll take a look at the Jeep Hitters scouting report for Frazier.
Yeah, it's a 4-game series, so why not? Let's do a Yankee one of these games. And of course, Clint Frazier is the talk of the town right now, and he is banging down the door. Hey, I do not want to go back to AAA, and we know about his quick bat. Brian Cashman talked about legendary bat speed, but the quick feet that are showing up on the base pass and the defense too. Some of the plays he's made in the outfield have surprised. So the kid wants to stay.
Had 2 more hits yesterday, both just ripped off the left field wall, hit him so hard. And the first time he got thrown out trying to turn it into a double, and the second time Brett Gardner wasn't able to score from first on it.
You know, the impressive part about Frazier to me is he's very aggressive early in the count. We've seen him get a lot of hits on first pitches, but he's also been able to work the count, lay off some breaking balls, and I think the more we see, the more you want to see. And it's going to be interesting to see how pitchers attack him and how he adjusts.
What do you think about him in the 2-hole?
I think it fits this lineup very well right now. You know, I know that the Yankees have tried Gary Sanchez in the 2-hole at times this year, but I like Sanchez, you know, in more of a power slot.
Joe Girardi said something interesting today when he was asked, does it mean he's going to face much better pitchers too with Judge behind him? And he said, you know, I know we say that a lot and it's definitely a baseball cliche, but I don't think the game's really played like that anymore. I think pitchers really just think, how do I get this batter out? It's like they probably should think about it a little bit more. As Frazier chases, and he is struck out for the second time this afternoon. But it's true, it's a cliche we use a lot. Whether or not it's true or not is something different.
Right. Up the ladder. So, you know, that's the thing we're going to have to watch with Clint Frazier is the adjustments the pitchers make to him and his chase rate. And above the strike zone there.
Here is Judge. Flirted with home run number 33 his first at bat. Flew out deep to right field. Two and 0.
Judge still sporting a very impressive .433 on base percentage, leading the American League in walks to go along with all of those power numbers.
Three and 0. Judge 1 for 2 this year, putting balls in play on 3-0 counts. Took a huge hack there, 3-1.
It's the way you're supposed to swing 3-0. I mean, I think the ball had a little movement on it, kind of ran up and in on Judge a little bit, surprised him.
Ball 4, Judge is on with 1 out here in the 3rd. And that was walk number 70 on the season for Aaron Judge.
It's also why he scored so many runs. You know, taking those walks. Keep the line moving, as they say. Now it's on Gary Sanchez.
Sanchez doubled yesterday, 1 for 4. Also lined out to right with runners on the corners in the 8th. And 2 outs. Grounded out to second. First pitch he saw his first at bat.
Gallardo getting a little frustrated, a little bit of a tight strike zone just off the plate. Keeps trying to get that call. Tom Woodring probably a little tighter, more of a hitter's umpire so far today. Kind of amazing to me. You hear some of the young players in the game now, and they're so much more receptive to technology and a potential automated strike zone.
Would you have been okay with that?
It's something that I think a lot of people are taking a second look at.
Sanchez held up 2-1.
When I first heard the concept, I just thought, no way. You know, the whole human element, the umpiring, are, it's such a woven in the fabric of the game. The home plate umpire. Such a difficult job. Sometimes you have games that have over 300 pitches to call, all on you. Extra inning games can get up that high.
You're also on your feet the entire time.
It's a lot of responsibility. And you compare umpires with other professional sports, and the basketball officials obviously have to be in great shape running, backpedaling. They're in incredible shape, but as far as pure responsibility and never taking a break, that guy behind home plate, that's one of the most difficult jobs in all of sports.
Changeup got Sanchez there, 3-2. See if perhaps Judge is running with 1 out on this 3-2 delivery from Gallardo with Holiday on deck. Judge is the pitch, swing and a miss. The throw down to second, not in time. Stolen base number 7 for Aaron Judge as Sanchez goes down on strikes. And they are perhaps going to call interference and send Judge back to first base.
Second time we've seen that in this series on a follow-through swing where the catcher is inhibited. You see, yes, the follow-through immediately called by Tom Woodring. You'll see it again here as this time the bat knocks off the mask of Carlos Ruiz. So that's an easy call.
Judge had gotten a great jump too.
Yeah, there's no judgment allowed in that call. Once the contact's made with the bat, it is interference. And I don't think Ruiz had any chance to throw Judge out there.
Holiday 5 for 41 on this road trip since returning from that illness. Popped him up towards first, and Valencia makes the play for the final out of the third. We go to the bottom of the third, the Yankees leading 2-0. With Joey Votto of the Cincinnati Reds, and yes, has pre and post game coverage surrounding the game on Pix 11. Then on Wednesday we've got full coverage of game 2 starting at 12:30 right here on Yes, and streaming on Fox Sports Go. And the series probables: Luis Castillo and Jordan Montgomery, and then Luis Severino and Homer Bailey.
That's a terrible name for a pitcher.
Homer Bailey?
Homer Bailey.
Like Grant Balfour?
Yes.
Instead of Balfour?
Yes. Bob Walk.
Cued to first. Easy for Headley. You know, we should remind people too, David, because with day games this becomes particularly pertinent. With that Fox Sports Go app, really easy to just get the game right on your phone. So if you're at work and you're like, I can't watch the game, well, you can just pull it up on your phone for that day game.
Everything's the phone nowadays, right?
I watch so many games on my phone.
I'm jonesing for a little social media break. Can you handle the rest of this inning? I need a little Twitter time. Are you okay with that?
I'm all right. You go for it.
Give me 5, all right?
Are you going to do an in-inning Q&A with fans?
Could happen. Got to get my fix.
Line to short, tough hop. Gregorius stays with it, spins, fires. Nice play from Didi Gregorius.
Sometimes playing shortstop is just self-preservation at first. Get up and from his knees, and that shows you arm strength there. I mean, on the backside, wheel around. Okay, let me just flip it back foot from my back foot and easily get enough on that.
Gregorius plays such a steady, consistent shortstop. As Smith paints the inside corner.
Impressive. Smith working fast. Kind of the old Ray Miller school of pitching. The pitching coach, longtime pitching coaches. Work fast, throw strikes, change speeds.
Keep your defense sharp that way too.
His fastball is getting on these Mariner hitters. You see that ball's fouled over the dugout. Some pitchers' fastballs just play bigger. They play quicker. Caleb Smith looks like that's the way his is. .94 miles an hour, but consistently beating these Mariner hitters inside, and then off of that, a good changeup away.
Fought off to left field. Frazier coming on will make the catch. And through 3 innings, Smith has needed just 32 pitches. It's 2-0 Yankees. Hey fans, make sure you're at Yankee Stadium on Friday night, July 28th, when the first 25,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees collectible cup courtesy of Premio Foods. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees Clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Top of the 4th inning, Yankees a 2-0 lead on the Mariners, and Didi Gregorius fouls the first pitch off. His 13th home run of the year, a solo shot, his first at bat on the Audi scoreboard. Caleb Smith has allowed just one hit through his first 3 innings of his first big league start.
Impressive so far for Caleb Smith.
Gregorius cranks that to right field. Does it have the height? It does. Home run number 2 on the day for Didi Gregorius.
Well, Didi is so quick on the inner half of the plate. As Yankee fans have seen, it's almost as if his swing is tailor-made for Yankee Stadium as well, but working here in Seattle today. Double Dutch bus.
And Aaron Judge lifts Ronald Torreyes, returning the favor from when Judge hits home runs and Didi lifts toe.
Setting up and in. It's not going to get there. It's down and in. But lightning quick from Didi on that 90-mile-an-hour cut fastball or four-seamer that sat right there.
And now Headley bangs that into right center field. Long run for Heredia, and he makes the diving catch for the first out of the 4th.
Another good swing from Headley, and this Mariners outfield is a pleasure to watch if you like defense and you like speed.
Here's Todd Frazier, flew out to right his first at bat. And this time smokes a single to left. So Todd Frazier with his second hit since the trade. A 1-out single. And the Yankees taking some great swings off of Giovanni Gallardo.
Yeah, we've seen Todd Frazier be really aggressive. This time he gets a good pitch to hit. You know, it's understandable coming here fired up, finally playing for the Yankees, and he's kind of chased some pitches out of the zone. This one almost gets in on him, but he beats him enough to get a knock out of it.
Now to bring it back to Didi for a second and how locked in he has been. He's now 12 for his last 19 with 3 home runs over the last 6 games. It's an interesting place to start your lead, way behind the bag, as Frazier now moves into the baseline.
Yeah, it almost looks like he's trying to get a running start, and Didi lightning quick, as we said, on the inner half of the plate, down and in, drops the bat head, keeps it fair.
That was coming in hot for that fan. And this is Didi Gregorius' first career multi-home run game. We know he added a lot of power last year. With the 20 home runs, now has 14 so far this season.
And that is with missing some time on the DL this year in the first half.
Good amount of time.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season. They're catching up fast, making up for lost time.
Tyler Wade doubled his first at bat. Loops that down the left field line. That'll drop foul. What's going on with Torreyes there?
Well, there's eye black, and then there's eye black and chin black. No glare getting in there.
They were having fun with Torreyes the other day when he walked into the clubhouse in this bright leather jacket and big movie star shades. He provides some good levity for these guys.
Yes, he does. Good vibe, right? Good energy.
Wade takes, and the count is full with one out here in the fourth.
Get back to that automated strike zone conversation we were having. I think that Giovanni Gallardo would like to have that conversation right now. Just in.
Runner goes, and Wade fouls it off. Well, actually, David, you talked about taking a social media break, and we were informed that the consensus from social media is that people want to hear more about your thoughts about this automated strike zone.
Well, there's
like that guy right there. He wants to know.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's being explored. It's going to continue to be talked about. How you implement it would be an interesting case study. It started off in the minor leagues, maybe with a headset on the umpire. You still keep the home plate umpire.
Wade battling.
Some sort of confirmation. The umpire could make the call, and it could be confirmed or overturned. I mean, we've seen it in tennis with the Cyclops, the old school Cyclops in tennis.
We'll show you if a ball is out or in.
Yes. And you kind of lose the John McEnroe arguments, you know, all the color.
Right. Harder to argue with a computer.
You've got to be kidding me.
The interesting thing would be how easy it is to adjust the technology based on the size of the hitter. I mean, I'm sure that is addressed long before it's ever implemented, obviously.
Yes, there would need to be some refinement.
Wade looks at ball 4, and Frazier just needs to stay on the bag there, and does. So Tyler Wade, a double and then a quality at bat there to work a walk.
Yes, it was. And he eyeballed some pitches, and here we go again. Just off the inside. Now this one, wow, just off the out. Man, that might have pinged. Boy, if you had the ping system going there, that would have been close.
An 8-pitch walk from Wade. And the bottom of the order turning things to the top with first and second and one out.
You know, it's not just the younger generation that has embraced technology with regard to an automated strike zone. Joe Madden had come out in favor of it recently in an article, the manager of the Cubs. So conversations are being had now that nobody ever thought we'd have. You know, it's a human game. You know, mistakes are part of it. But people want to get calls right.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting debate.
And one thing we've already seen from Rob Manfred, the new commissioner, is he's very open to progressing the game in different ways.
Yeah, you get the feeling, Rob Manfred, and everybody talked and kind of made fun of the, you know, the intentional walk rule that was changed. Just throw up 4 fingers, and that's not really a speed up rule, but that's kind of a threshold thing to kind of get the ball rolling in that direction. I don't think the game saved a lot of time by eliminating the intentional walk and just throwing up 4 fingers. I don't think you save a lot of time on that, but it does advance the ball in that direction towards technology.
Right. Shows you're willing to make changes and take strides towards that. The 1-1. Grounded towards short. Segura will flip to Cano, on to first in time for the double play. Now we'll see whether or not the Yankees will challenge that. Brett Gardner thinks he was safe. He's hanging out at first. Joe Girardi waiting for confirmation.
Get another look right here. My first instinct was safe too. And I was right.
Yeah. You were absolutely right.
And, you know, that is probably going to be overturned. And it's not a small call because you keep this inning going. You've got first and third with 2 outs, and Gallardo still on the mound.
Yeah, I mean, you see the freeze, the ball's still in the air, the foot is on the bag. That should be an easy overturn.
Not really even close.
You saw that one right away, as did Brett Gardner. He had no intention of leaving that bag. Yeah, and that's about as quick a review as you're going to get. So in an inning where we're discussing the human element, in that case, the human element would have ended the inning. Instead, the Yankees have first and third with 2 outs and Clint Frazier up.
Chalk one up for the technology side of the argument. Now Clint Frazier gets a chance with two men on and 2 out.
Clint chased a high fastball his last time up. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
Seen Clint Frazier kind of chase out of the strike zone in his first 2 at-bats. For every hitter, it's about getting good pitches to hit.
Frazier lifts that in the air to left center and deep. Heredia racing back, makes the catch just in front of the wall on a well-stroked out from Clint Frazier. But the Yankees add another run. Didi Gregorius has done it twice today. His first career multi-home run game, and it's helped give the Yankees a 3-0 lead. For live Yankees baseball, stay connected with a fully customized experience. Get Yankees home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live video, highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat today. First career multi-home run game for Didi Gregorius. A couple of solo shots. Brett Gardner led off the game with a solo home run. And the Yankees have a 3-0 lead as Caleb Smith delivers. And a little looping base hit to right field to begin the fourth for Danny Valencia. So far, you see on the Audi scoreboard, the 3-0 Yankees lead. 24 of the 33 pitches Smith has thrown have been for strikes. Has faced just one 3-ball count and has needed 3 pitchers or fewer in 8 of the 11 batters he's faced. So he's worked efficiently.
You're coming through the second time of the order, and that's a nice thing when Robinson Cano's getting his second at bat here in the fourth. Shows you how efficient Caleb Smith has been. But nonetheless, the second look for this Mariners lineup at Caleb.
Clint Frazier was very close to giving Caleb Smith an even bigger cushion for the final out of that fourth. Drove that ball well to left center field. But it's deep out there, and Heredia caught up with it. That is a broken bat, base hit that floats into right. So first and second, nobody out on a couple of soft singles to begin the fourth.
Pretty good pitch. Watch the glove. Right to it. Broken bat, but that's Robinson Cano, and he's strong. And gets just enough of it to find the outfield grass. So little challenge here for young Caleb Smith. First and second, nobody out. Working with a 3-run lead. Just tell by the sound, right? That was a broken bat.
But Cano muscles it into right field, and here's Cruz. Flew out deep to center, his first at bat, and Smith will step off. Just had that sound. And now Sanchez and Smith will get on the same page with the runner at second, as well as Cano at first.
If you're Larry Rothschild, this is when you really key in on Caleb Smith. First challenge of the day, big home run hitter up.
Change up away, ball one.
You really look for how a young pitcher handles adversity. This is the time you really evaluate young pitchers in these situations. It's easy to pitch when you're cruising along. Now all of a sudden you got Nelson Cruz up there, and one swing can tie it.
And he's behind 2-0.
Good time for a 2-0 changeup right here.
Tried it, but missed with it. It's 3-0 on Cruz.
Yep, just pushed it a little bit. Heartbeat starts beating a little faster. You're more prone to squeeze the baseball just a little bit.
Cruz took a big swing. I think that was another changeup.
3-0 changeup right there, but you could see Cruz off the end of the bat out in front. He thought it was a fastball. So the speed saved him there, not the location, obviously.
Foul back, count full.
Love that formula right there. You can't just keep throwing off-speed pitches. Probably the best feature of Smith today is his fastball in. He's gotten it in there all day long. Cruz with a good swing, but he's beat. You can tell by the look on his face. He got beat on that pitch.
Another fastball foul back.
Just as a pitcher, when you're able to do that behind in the count, the proverbial pitch backwards in fastball counts, you just retain the mystery a little bit. Whenever a hitter can take the mystery out of the equation and know what's coming, watch out. Then you can anticipate, and a guy like Cruz, that's when he can take advantage.
And that is high with a changeup, ball 4. And the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the 4th.
Well, a challenging spot here. You see first pitch changeup down and away. Again, just misses. Up and away 2-0 changeup. Starting to squeeze it a little bit. 3-0 changeup. Good swing. Good pitch there. Beats him in. Fastball away. Again, Cruz is late, and then you try the 3-2 changeup, and there's where nerves come in, or a little bit of the pressure of the situation. The first time we've seen Caleb Smith miss up and away with his changeup. Just a little quick, right? The game speeds up a little bit. Understandable. Happens to everybody.
So Chad Green will get going in the Yankee pen. Green has never pitched on back-to-back days, but he threw a quick 1-2-3 inning last night. And Joe Girardi and Larry Rothschild have both talked about being comfortable with it now in his progression as a reliever.
If he's going to stay in the bullpen, he's going to have to.
Yep.
Now's the time.
Yankees would love to not have to use him in this inning. Seager just takes a meek wave for strike 1.
Seager over anxious. Pretty good slider, even it's right over the heart of the plate and down. And that's what, when you see that a hitter's, he's thinking first pitch fastball. This kid's got to throw a fastball, bases loaded. He just walked the bases loaded. Seager guessing. Guessing wrong.
Inning started with a fought-off single from Valencia to right. Then a broken bat muscled single from Cano to right. And a walk to Cruz, and batters loaded the bases. One and 2.
.94-mile-an-hour fastball inside. More like middle end. Pretty good swing there. Just quick enough to get it tied up on the left-handed hitter. Pretty good swing though right there.
Here's the 1-2. Just missed. 2-2.
Back to that automated strike zone argument. Just down. That's got plenty of play, but you gotta look from the side. Whoa, okay. Borderline. If you're a Yankee fan, that's a strike. If you're a Mariners fan, no, that's low.
Last night that was definitely a strike. And now the count is full. Big Sunday afternoon crowd at Safeco. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss. He got him.
Very impressive to make this pitch in this spot. Bases loaded, your first major league start. 84 mile an hour, more like a cutter. Little tight slider. He got it in the strike zone. It's a strike, and it swung over the top of. So impressive pitch right there from the rookie pitcher.
So now Smith faces Mitch Haniger, who flew out to center field in his first at bat. Good changeup there from Smith.
You know, it's talked about the evaluation part of a young pitcher is making adjustments on the fly. 1-0 changeup right there. Haniger's not picking it up. He's seeing fastball the whole way. We saw Smith miss up and away with a few changeups this inning, but pretty good adjustment now.
2-1. Fly ball, right field, shallow. Judge over towards the line, makes the catch, and no chance for Valencia to tag as Smith gets the second out. Impressive work from Smith, battling back against Seager and getting Haniger, and now 1 out away from emerging from bases loaded, nobody out.
Looking for the full Houdini act right here, right? Bases loaded, nobody out. How could you get out of this? Well, Ben Gamel's hot, but you got the platoon advantage, lefty on lefty.
That's lined overhead lead into shallow right. Wade trying to chase it down, but 2 runs will score, and it is a 3-2 game.
Well, it's been this kind of series for Ben Gamel, and this pitch is in. It jams him, maybe breaks his bat, but give him credit. He fights it off. And it's hit so softly that the second baseman's got to chase it, so that easily allows the second run to score. I mean, you can't classify that a mistake. Tried to pound him in, you got him.
All 3 base hits this inning, softly hit. Just found holes. All floated into right field. And that one is stung down the left field line, but foul. Ben Gamel, a 10-game hitting streak, and he has been very good in this series against his former team. And if it wasn't for Aaron Judge, there would be serious talk about him as a Rookie of the Year candidate. That's a line drive into left center field. Frazier on the run. He won't get there. That'll go to the wall. The game is tied, and with Gamel coming home, Seattle in front 4-3.
Just that fast. Not only does Seattle have the lead, but Caleb Smith's day is done.
From 3 smooth innings to a rocky 4th, and the 3-0 lead is a 4-3 deficit. People's United Bank NA, and it's been a hitter's afternoon now as Caleb Smith allows 5 hits and 4 runs, all those runs in this 4th inning after 3 really smooth, efficient innings. And Giovanni Gallardo has been a treat for the Yankee hitters thus far through his 4 innings of work. 3 home runs, all solo. 1 by Brett Gardner, 2 by Didi Gregorius. Has stranded a couple of runners on as well. And now Chad Green pitching on back-to-back days for the first time in his big league career will face Carlo Ruiz and try and stop it right here. Caleb Smith was 1 out away from escaping from a bases loaded, nobody out jam unscathed. Made the pitch he wanted on Ben Gamble. He just fought it off into right field for a 2-run single, and then the 2-run double from Heredia.
Yeah, his last pitch was probably his worst. You know, there wasn't a whole lot of bad sequences or mistakes in there. You give the Mariners credit. But the last pitch, the changeup really hung up and out of the plate that was laced for a double in the gap.
And Green behind 3-0 on the number 9 hitter, Carlos Ruiz. All right, Valencia, Cano, Gamble, all sort of muscled flares that landed softly and right. But then the mistake to Heredia, and that was struck well to left center. Whoa! 3-0 swinging, and Ruiz fires the bat into the stands about 7 rows behind the Yankee dugout. Count is full.
You got this, baby.
It was a 4-run third last night that helped propel Seattle. 4-run 4th so far this afternoon. And that's all it'll be. As Green strikes out Ruiz, but the Mariners take the lead 4-3. Aaron Judge to lead off the 5th. just incredible. And Clayton Kershaw, sensational. 15-2 with an ERA barely over 2. You see the hits and walks per inning and the strikeouts, but a reoccurrence of back issues is not what Dodger fans or baseball fans need to hear. So you hope it's more of a scare than a long issue with Kershaw.
It's one of the toughest things for any athlete is to distinguish the difference between pain and injury. And we've seen that here with the Yankees and Starlin Castro.
Former Yankee James Pazos up in the Mariners' pen. Yankees had a 3-0 lead, but 4 2-out runs in the fourth, and it's 4-3 Seattle.
Giovanni Gallardo with new life.
Two and two.
One of the best breaking balls he's thrown all day. Quick.
And down goes Judge for the first out of the fifth.
These are always the best ones. They look like they're right down the middle, and then they break down right over the heart of the plate. And those work a lot, as you see Aaron Judge over the top.
Here's Gary Sanchez, 0 for 2. Ground out to second and a strikeout.
Scott Service, the Mariners manager, obviously is going to have a very short leash on his starting pitcher right here.
That is crushed but foul down the left field line. Well, he's got Matt Holliday on deck and then Didi Gregorius, who's homered twice. So you'd think Gallardo wouldn't get a chance to face Didi again, especially with the lefty Pazos throwing.
That would be a reasonable thought. This game important for both sides, trying to fight for a pennant race.
Sanchez down on strikes again. 2 out here in the fifth.
Just a little over aggressive. He got Sanchez to chase a couple of pitches. This one's up and out of the zone, on the top of the zone with a fastball. Also, one of the best fastballs he's thrown all day at 93 miles an hour.
Sanchez does not have good numbers in day games this season. He's 14 for 82. That's well below 170 compared to 315 in night games. As Holliday smokes that to center field. Heredia racing back, covers a lot of ground as well, and easily makes the play. So 1-2-3 go the Yankees in the fifth.
Coors Banquet timeless moment. And on July 23rd, 1957, Mickey Mantle hits for his only career cycle in a 10-6 Yankees victory over the White Sox at Yankee Stadium. And that's kind of hard to believe that Mickey Mantle and all of his accomplishments only hit for the cycle once.
60 years ago. To the day. On the GMC scoreboard, 3-5-0 for the Yankees, 4-5-0 for the Mariners.
Not the rain on that particular time, you know, that moment in time right there. But I think that's one of the most overrated categories, stats in baseball, is the cycle, hitting for a cycle. It's just kind of an anomaly.
Rolled slowly to third. Frazier makes the play.
You know, so put it this way, I've got a chance to hit for the cycle in my last at bat, and I need a single. No, I want a homer.
Right.
I'd rather hit another home run. So what am I going to do? Do something that's, you know, on a lower scale, just so I can say I hit for the cycle? No, I'd rather go 4 for 4 with 2 home runs.
Right. It's one thing you see guys sometimes maybe stop at second or really try and make it to third over aggressively to complete a cycle. Like you smoke a ball in the gap when you need a single, you're like, oh man. Right. That's a good
point. You're hitting the gap and you're going to check up at first. No, I need a single for the cycle. I'm not going to move.
Just off the outside corner. Boy, that is perfect on the outside corner at 96. Fast pitch speed analytics brought to you by Fios. Count is full on Danny Valencia with Robinson Cano up next. It was Valencia who started the 4-run fourth. Little looped single into right field off of Caleb Smith, who had been coasting through the first 3. And that's tipped into the glove for out number 2. And Caleb Smith is still there on the bench. He's not going back.
I like that. That's good for a young pitcher. Stay out there. And what started out great kind of came unraveled on him, but he had some, definitely some luck issues. A little bit unlucky rather in that inning. Some decent pitches that were somehow got through. I think his worst pitch was the last one and ended up knocking him out of the game.
The only really rifled hit of that inning was the Guillermo Heredia 2-run double with 2 outs.
A couple of broken bat hits in there in that inning.
And then the walk to Cruz. That'd be a lot of pressure too, knowing you're auditioning for a spot.
Auditioning, he had a big strikeout of Sager with the bases loaded and nobody out. You talked about, Ryan, that the Yankees haven't won a series in over a month. You didn't think it was going to be easy, right? And Seattle needs this game just as badly.
Seattle trying to get back to 500 for the 8th time this season. They've lost 6 of the previous 7 times after reaching 500. Something we saw Toronto have an issue with earlier this year too, where they kept losing once they got to that mark. Cano held up just outside, 3-1. That's line to left field. Frazier in his tracks makes the catch, and Green retires all 4 hitters that he has faced thus far. As we head to the 6th with the Yankees down 1, the man who already has 2 home runs on the day will get a crack at a 3rd. Didi Gregorius leads off the 6th next here on Yes. Games on TV. You can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Yankees baseball on Yes with you wherever you go. Didi Gregorius will lead off the 6th inning. He has homered in each of his first 2 at-bats, and he will face the lefty James Pazos, former Yankee. Pazos with good numbers on the season, although he struggled a little bit lately. An ERA of 11 over his last 8 appearances.
The life of a reliever, right? The ebbs and flows, game to game, month to month, and year to year. One thing Pazos has always had is a plus fastball. Throw the ball in the mid-90s. Earlier this year, he was up in the upper 90s at times when he got off to that great start in the first couple of months. And as you said, Ryan, been a bit of a slog lately.
"20 different Yankees have hit 3 home runs in a game. Alex Rodriguez, the last to do it in Minnesota back in July of 2015. It's been done 29 times by those 20 Yankees. You see the numbers. Didi, as David talked about last night, definitely seen a little bit of a dip against lefties this year. He's worked the count full here against Pazos to lead off the 6th.
Well, one thing Didi does well, and you know we showed it yesterday, is he kind of crowds the dish and he doesn't give an inch on lefties. And if you come in there, he'll turn on it. almost challenging pitchers to come in there.
Here's the payoff. Chop to second. Cano stays down. 1 out. Now Headley flips around to the right side. Headley has walked and also robbed of a hit by Guillermo Heredia in right center. Luis Cessa throwing in the Yankee bullpen.
And that certainly makes sense. We would say that Caleb Smith and Cessa were both kind of interchangeable parts on this day and in the 6th inning. Kind of expected to see Cessa at some point in this game, especially early. Starting to get to the point now, you know, where you're looking at bullpen workload and who's available. Tommy Kahnle, is he available today?
Probably not, you'd think, because he has worked each of the last 2 days and 3 of the last 4. David Robertson has worked each of the last 2 days, but he has pitched 3 consecutive days quite a few times for Chicago. Neither Betances or Chapman threw yesterday.
Yeah, they are both available. So now you start getting into you know, bullpen management in theory and when to use your best assets. And do you have to have a lead to use your best assets? Should you go ahead and use your best assets in a 1-run game when you're behind?
Yankees do have an off day tomorrow. The 2-2. That just missed. 3-2.
I think you can make an argument right now, you know, after we see this pitch from the overhead cam, just in off the plate. Another look. Automated strike zone says just in off the plate.
The 3-2. Headley stays alive.
Yeah, the new school argument would be in bullpen management and asset allocation, so to speak. You would say, hey, it's 4-3, we're down by a run, but still a very winnable game, obviously. Why not use your best pitcher right now? So who would that be? Your best available pitcher? Betances, right?
Betances, yeah.
Even though it's going to be the 6th inning. Keep it a 1-run game. I mean, that's kind of the new school bullpen management way. The old school slotting would be no, this is Cessa's inning and let's save Betances for the 8th and we get a lead, and then we're lined up for our slotting system of the, you know, 7th or 8th, your 7th inning guy, 8th inning guy, and then Chapman to close.
And we saw Joe Girardi use Chad Green kind of in the way you're talking about in this game, where he brought in Green in the 4th inning to help bail Caleb Smith out of that inning and then pitch the 5th. And that's inside. Nice hard-earned walk from Chase Headley, his 2nd of the day.
You could make an argument that Betances should be warming up and be in this game.
I guess the problem with that, David, would be you don't have enough outs between Betances, Chapman, and Robertson to get to the finish line without having to use Cessa at some point.
And that's where you'd be looking at multiple innings. You'd be looking, or 4 or 5 outs. You start thinking about, would you use Betances for 2 innings today, or 4 or 5 outs, as I just said. Is David Robertson still available for an inning or a couple of outs?
What would be interesting to see is if the Yankees do take the lead this inning. Is it still Sessa who comes in at the bottom of the 6th?
Depending on how much time you have to get somebody ready down there.
One 1-0 on Frazier. 2-0.
All interesting debates. I love this debate with bullpen management. I always get back to, the best season that Mariano Rivera ever had was 1996, when you could use him in a fireman type role. He was so valuable that year. Not that he wasn't valuable his entire career. He was one of the greatest of all time, obviously.
And now Frazier ahead 3-0. Now these are the names that are available in the Yankee bullpen. But Canely has thrown 3 or 4 days in 2 straight. Warren has thrown 2 straight. And then Chapman, Betances, Robertson, and Sessa.
Well, Sessa does have relief experience, but he's been starting lately. But with that being said, he's got plenty of time to get loose down there and warm up.
Yep. That's inside ball 4. So back-to-back walks to Headley and now Frazier. And that'll bring up Ronald Torreyes, who's going to pinch hit for Tyler Wade here in the 6th against the lefty Pazos. Unless Tony Zick comes in relief. Ronald Torreyes came through in a big way last night.
Yes, he did. And the pinch running Jacoby Ellsbury, as opposed to the pinch hitting Jacoby Ellsbury, scores the run.
One more thing on the bullpen. Sessa pitched very well out of the pen before the All-Star break. So perhaps that gives Joe Girardi a little more confidence in him in that role as well.
I think the new school argument centers around when to use your best assets. When's proper to use them, and the old school way of slotting, oh, he's my 7th inning guy, or we can't pitch our best assets when we're behind in a game, I think is being challenged more and more on a daily basis.
An opportunity here for the Yankees in the 6th. And Torreyes looks at strike 1.
Brian, you brought up a good point, obviously, with the off day tomorrow, too.
One and one. Yeah, I could see the off day still not tempting him into using Canely or Warren for a 3rd straight day, but perhaps it would tempt him into using Chapman, Robertson, and Betances for a combined 12 outs instead of 9.
That would be the argument, yes. Betances for multiple innings here.
Torreyes hits that hard and through into right field, a base hit. Rounding 3rd and head. No, now stopping is Headley. He was being given the green light. But if that throw was on target, he was going to be dead at home, and a good hold from Joe Espada to keep Headley at 3rd, even as that ball trickled in.
Yeah, with 1 out and the top of the order coming up. But that ball's hit pretty hard. You see right here, the right fielder's got the ball. And yes, here's a better look here. As you see, Headley breaks good, but anytime the runner's getting in 3rd base and the outfielder's got the ball, boy, that, to me, that's the marker for a 3rd base coach. If he is just getting to the bag and the outfielder already has the ball and is fielding it cleanly, boy, that's almost an automatic. You got to throw up the stop sign. That's what happened.
It was in shallow right, too, that Haniger got to it. So now the base is loaded. The Yankees down 1 here in the top of the 6th for Brett Gardner. He homered to lead off this game. Big swing, 0-1. So pinch hitting to Reyes for Wade works out as he singles. Walks to Headley and Frazier. And that's why the bases are loaded with 1 out as the lineup turns back to the top. Ooh, 0-2. Gardner with great numbers in his career with the bases loaded.
Gardner thought this was away from the overhead cam. That's got the corner.
Yes, it does. Now Gardner behind 0-2. With a tying run at third, go ahead run at second. And Gardner loops that into left field. That will get down for a base hit. Headley scores. Holding at third is Frazier. And this game is tied at 4 on the RBI single from Brett Gardner.
Gardner battling, falling down 2 strikes. Gets a fastball that stays on the plate a little too much, I think, for Pazos' liking. And Ben Gamma, what an effort. Doesn't come up with a catch, but does get just enough leather on it to keep it close enough to hold Frazier at third. So the Yankees forced to play station to station here.
And so that'll do it for Pazos. Clint Frazier coming up, bases loaded in a tie game. Yes is brought to you in part by City MD. When you need a doctor, just walk into City MD Urgent Care. And by Infinity, empower the drive. Visit your tri-state area Infinity retailer for a test drive today. Well, it's been an incredibly beautiful weekend in Seattle and 4 entertaining, well-played baseball games. This one tied at 4 in the top of the 6th inning as Tony Zick comes in relief of Pazos. Struggled a little bit in this 6th inning as the Yankees have tied it on the Brett Gardner single. And still have the bases loaded for Clint Frazier. Zick got the win last night, pitching a scoreless 10th, striking out 2, including Frazier. Russell Wilson and Ciara catching the game today. Russell Wilson was just I believe, in China up until yesterday, but made sure to come here and catch this day game between the Yankees and the Mariners. And here's Clint Frazier with the bases loaded in a tie game. Strike one.
Russell Wilson still going to spring training with the Rangers every year, or?
I don't know. He was doing that for a while.
Yeah, he's got a baseball background.
Yes. Look out. That didn't turn, and it nearly caught Frazier. Frazier lines that, a base hit to left field. Todd Frazier will score easily. Torreyes comes home too, and Clint Frazier is at second with a 2-run double to give the Yankees a 6-4 lead.
And another double, showing off some bat speed once again. Inside, cuts it off, beats him. The best part of this swing is he keeps it fair. Look how quick that stroke is, and that's probably just a little bit in off the plate. Not a bad pitch, just a good swing.
Crowd, you may hear booing in the background. That is not because they didn't like the replays we showed, although they may not have liked that. But the Yankee fans here are upset that Aaron Judge was just intentionally walked. And there has been a sizable contingent of Yankee fans here at Safeco all weekend. So now it's up to Gary Sanchez. Looked like the swing was starting to regain form over the last 2 games, but not so far today. 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. And behind 0-1. Speed on the bases with Gardner, Frazier, and Judge. Sanchez loops that behind second. Cano backpedaling, and the tough day at the plate continues for Gary Sanchez, as there are now 2 outs here in the 6th. Here's Holiday lined out to center, his last at bat. And David, we talked about if the Yankees took the lead, would they still go with Sessa for the bottom of the 6th? Nobody up in the Yankee pen right now, so.
Interesting. What a lift Clint Frazier has given this lineup since he arrived. Not only the big hits, just the energy.
You feel him out there on the field. His presence, the aggression, the life.
Talk about taking advantage of an opportunity. Clint Frazier squeezing every drop out of this opportunity.
And Joe Girardi has said he's going with the hot hand. He has talked with Jacoby Ellsbury about how he's going to be on the bench for now. Said he doesn't want him to go too long without playing because it's tough to regain your stroke if you are, something he was talking about with Meredith Marakovitz earlier. But right now he would be the 4th outfielder in this group. Yankees trying to add more here. Holiday ahead 2-1. Holiday grounds that hard, but right to second. Cano Adam played perfectly, and that will end the threat for the Yankees. Put 3 on the board and take the lead 6-4.
out, and then, you know, it's always subject to change. I mean, we're at a time now where, you know, that you're trying, you can't be necessarily as patient maybe as if you're in April and May. I mean, that's the time. So he's got to be ready to play. There's certain matchups that I really like that I'm going to play him. And, you know, I told him I'll try to give him a heads up when those matchups are coming.
That was Joe Girardi talking about Jacoby Ellsbury, as Clint Frazier has become an everyday player for this Yankee team. He's forced his way into it, and his 2-run double in the 6th gives the Yankees a 6-4 lead, and it is Chad Green who stays in the game. We saw Sessa warming up with the Yankees down 4-3, but Green stays in for another inning of work. Green worked 1 inning yesterday. He has pitched to 4 batters so far today and retired them all. Yankees want this win. Haven't won a series in about 6 weeks now. Shattered bat. I mean, that bat was just sawed in half. And it's Dylan Betances who is up now in the Yankee bullpen. And this is what we were talking about, David.
So the strategy changes because a 4-3 game, a 1-run game because you're down, makes that big of a difference? Now that you have the lead, everything else is going to change? I mean, that's the argument.
And there's the last time the Yankees won a series. They've gone 10 straight series without a victory. But to make that long flight home from Seattle a whole lot nicer for the Yankees if they can close this out. Swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout for Chad Green.
I just cannot say enough about the life on Chad Green's fastball. Look at it when it hits the glove. Almost snaps Gary Sanchez's glove back. This is a high spin rate, 96-mile-an-hour four-seamer that just jumps at the hitter. Also jumps right on by a really good fastball hitter in Nelson Cruz.
Yesterday, Green threw a 1-2-3 inning, didn't have a strikeout. He'd gone 8 straight appearances with multiple strikeouts before yesterday, which was the 4th longest streak in Yankees history. And he already has 3, so starting a new streak today. Even his misses, David, feel so well located.
It's just a great trajectory on that fastball. Back in the day, we'd call it a rising fastball. Now it's a high spin fastball.
Weak hack from Seager as that fastball takes off.
Just late life through the strike zone.
You see Torreyes out in shallow right field. The shift on Seager. Torreyes pinch hitting, came up with a base hit, in for Wade. Ooh. 2-2. Grounded right into the shift. 2 out. Here's Mitch Haniger, 0 for 2. Strike 1.
Just a lot of quality strikes. On the edge, off the edge, above the zone.
Strike 2. No real worry about retention of stuff, working on a back-to-back day for the first time in his career out of the bullpen.
No messing around either.
Ooh, Gary Sanchez thought for sure that was strike 3. Started heading towards the Yankee dugout.
Okay. Ping, 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 ping.
I mean, where's that pitch?
Might have called it low, I guess.
I guess. That's not even on the corner. That's down the middle. Yeah, I mean,
about that automated strike zone argument once again.
Obviously a strike. So now can Green get Haniger again?
The 35 pitch outing for Chad Green, like you said, Ryan, on back-to-back days. Trying to get it done with this 36 pitch right here.
Haniger fighting. Most pitches Green has thrown since June 11th, when he threw 53 in that bullpen by committee start. Popped up. Shallow center. Gardner in. And how about the job from Chad Green? Retires all 7 batters that he's faced. It's 6-4 Yankees as we go to the 7th. Brought to you by T-Mobile. How about Bryce Harper during his 16-game hitting streak? 452 average, 7 home runs, 17 ribbies, 23 runs scored, the longest active hitting streak in Major League Baseball. Harper due to be a free agent after next season. Washington dealt a little blow today, though, as Steven Strasburg left that game with an injury. You see Emilio Pagan on in relief for Seattle. To both Kershaw and Strasburg.
Adds a
Leaving
little,
with injuries.
excuse me, it adds a little intrigue leading up to the trade deadline. Medio Pagan on the year, 18 innings, just 10 hits. This will be his 8th outing.
Here's Didi Gregorius, who has already homered twice. Solo shots in the 2nd and the 4th off of Giovanni Gallardo, who left with a 4-3 lead. The Yankees scored 3 in the 6th off the Seattle bullpen. Yankees batted around in that 3-run 6th inning, leaving the bases loaded after pushing 3 across. High fly ball, center field. Heredia shades his eyes and makes the catch. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Little kid enjoying the game. A Sunday. Plenty of kids enjoying some summer afternoon baseball here in Seattle. Good crowds all weekend. Though I think last night, which was over 46,000, felt like the biggest crowd.
Well, that's the beauty of the Yankees, right? I mean, Star Wars does not work without Darth Vader, right? So
you're talking to the right guy, David.
So the Yankees play that role very well wherever they go. The road attendance always a big deal for opposing teams, and it's no different here in Seattle.
And right after the Yankees, the Red Sox come into town. So nice little boon of attendance for Seattle. It was Headley's walk in the 6th, an 8-pitch walk where he battled James Pazos, that started the Yankee rally.
And that's a great point, Ryan. That was a hard-fought battle from the right side too, the side that Headley has struggled this year with.
And Headley has hit well lately. Especially from this left side. And he hits that hard into right center field. That is going to get down and split the outfielders. Heredia tried to cut it off, could not. Headley is going to stop at second with a 1-out double, and his offensive success continues.
Another really good swing from Chase Headley, who's hitting well over 300 over his last month plus, really. And there's no doubt that's heading for the gap. It's an easy stand-up double. Middle away, right at the belt. Just a little bit out. Those are the ones you can get just a little extended on and really put some bat speed on that kind of a pitch.
So here's Frazier, who has singled and walked today. Well, Headley, you mentioned the numbers, David. Over his last 32 games entering today, he had been hitting .321. He has doubled and walked twice, as well as been robbed of a hit in right center field by Guillermo Heredia. That pops out of the glove of Ruiz, and Headley will take third.
I think sometimes you get a catcher trying to frame a pitch. And of course the swing, maybe get that the level of the swing might have blinded Reese just a bit, but nonetheless that's a pass ball, and he'll tell you after the game he should have caught it.
So the infield comes in for Seattle. As Frazier can deliver the Yankees' 7th run without needing a hit here.
Yeah, Frazier just needs to get a good pitch to hit. We've seen him a little over anxious early in his Yankee career.
Took that, 3-1. Good 3-1 breaking ball, count full. Swing and a miss, and Frazier can't get the job done. 2 out.
On the 3-1 slider, here comes a 3-2 fastball, well located too, right on the inside corner. You can see from the side Frazier underneath of it. A good pitch.
So it's left to Ronald Torreyes, who had a pinch hit single in the middle of the Yankees rally in the 6th. Had that big game tying single last night with 2 outs in the 9th off closer Edwin Diaz. Trying to pick up his teammate Todd Frazier and add another run for the Yankees. Oh, 0-2. And Betances ready for the 7th.
Ready for the 7th and able to start a clean inning with nobody on base.
Nice stop by Ruiz.
Good take from Torreyes, even though that's way out in front of home plate. We'll see chalk mark come up from the batter's box there.
Torreyes stays alive.
Torreyes coming into this game 187 at bats, 6 walks.
He's a swinger.
22 strikeouts. Yes.
He's putting it in play. Swing and a miss. As Torreyes goes down on strikes, so the 1-out double and the pass ball wasted. And it's Dylan Betances' turn. With the Yankees leading 6-4 as we head to the bottom of the 7th, we will stay for God Bless America to be performed by Keith Taylor from the Marysville Fire Department.
God Bless America. Please welcome back Keith Taylor from the Marysville Fire Department.
God bless America, land that I love, stand beside her from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Central race. Thank you, Bob. Time for the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 6-9-0 for the Yankees, 4-5-0 for the Mariners. Caleb Smith's first major league start. Cruised through 3, struggled in the 4th. 3 home runs from the Yankees today, including 2 from Didi Gregorius, his first career multi-home run game. And now the Yankees call on Dellin Betances after an outstanding job from Chad Green, retiring all 7 batters that he faced. Betances starts with a beautiful breaking ball for strike 1 to Gamble.
Once again today, Ben Gamble has been a thorn in the Yankees side and has had a big impact on this series.
Let's check in with Meredith Marakovitz.
Well, Gamble was asked at the beginning of this series how he felt when he found out he was traded to the Mariners, and he said he was never really sad to leave, but did describe the trade as bittersweet. He said when you come up with the same group of guys playing with Sanchez, Austin, and Judge pretty much every year, that's the bitter part, the fact that the relationships are changing. You see the same guys every day, and now you know you're not going to be playing with them anymore. But he's very thankful for the opportunity he has in Seattle, and then he added, it's nice to feel wanted.
Well, Seattle has to be thrilled with getting Gamble and what he's done for them. That was an August 31st trade last year as well.
It had roster implications, and the Yankees were loaded with left-handed hitting outfielders. Still are. Comes down to a numbers game, but
chopped up the middle. Gregorius gets to it, and it's picked out by Headley. A little contact with Gamble after the scoop, and 1 out.
we'll get another look here as Didi's got to get rid of it quick as Gamble can run. Nice play by Headley. I'm not sure that
Gamble needed to hit him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was just trying to protect a little bit there, but I think Gamble got the worst end of this one. Gamble's busted it trying to get there. Headley made a nice play. A little bit of a bang bang.
Headley making the adjustment over there at first. Nice scoop there on the one-hop laser from Didi. To your point about Gamble and the roster decisions, that's something that as the Yankees have stacked up their farm system and created this incredible depth, there's going to be some tough choices for them, or unloading of certain players just because they can't protect them all on the 40-man roster.
Yes, they have stockpiled a lot of really good prospects, and you cannot protect them all. And just as a little refresher quickly, after 3 years in any minor league system, you have to be protected on the 40-man roster, and that's what Ben Gamble was up against, and the Mariners jumped all over him. He was the International League MVP. Yankees are running up against that coming up this year. That decision has to happen in November, I believe, in the offseason. If you've got 3 years of service time in the minor leagues, you either have to be protected or get exposed to the waiver wire, to the Rule 5 draft. Keeps teams from stockpiling talent over multiple years. That's a good thing for players.
Right.
Because, use me or lose me kind of a thing. That's what it was with Ben Gamble. Use me or lose me, and they lost him. It becomes a guessing game. Who do we protect? Who do we keep? Who do we let go? Do we keep Mason Williams on the roster? Or Jake Cave or somebody else in that situation? Same could be said for James Pazos also. Similar type situation.
Down the right field line, Judge over, but that'll make the seats. Well, we saw today the Yankees made a deal with Rob Refsnyder. That's a guy who's been on their 40-man, but has not been able to find a home with the Yankees, and they dealt him to Toronto for Ryan McBroom.
You needed the roster spot, and so that's what happens. And Ryan McBroom is a first baseman.
Strike three, Betances with 100-mile-an-hour BB for out number 2.
Well thrown, well located. Right at the bottom of the strike zone. We've seen this pitch go either way, but I think this one was definitely a strike, and it was caught better too, framed better by Sanchez back there. Better presentation, rather. We saw a similar situation with today's starter, Caleb Smith, who was a Rule 5 draft this spring by the Milwaukee Brewers and actually got traded to the Cubs. Did not make the team out of spring training and therefore had to be given back to the Yankees.
Just missed. And one thing, it used to be 3 minor league seasons. Now it has shifted to 4. So once you have 4 years of minor league service, if you're not on that roster, someone can pick you up in the Rule 5 draft.
Correct. Yes, the rules have changed, but nonetheless, it still comes down to roster construction and only so many spots.
And that's a recent change from the 3 to 4 in the latest CBA. Betances just missed with those last couple pitches. 2-2 now on Ruiz. Going with the heater. Foul back just to our right. Driven in the air to right center. Judge and Gardner over. Gardner will do a little slide to make the catch and end the inning. So 10 straight batters retired by the Yankee bullpen. And we go to the 8th with the Yankees leading 6-4 in the top of the order coming up. Already seen a dozen major league debuts, and our original series homegrown, The Path to Pinstripes, has captured the calls. Friday night at 11, do not miss the next all-new episode, and follow your favorite baby bombers on their way to the show, only on Yes. David Robertson warming. He has worked each of the last 2 days, but getting ready in the Yankee pen as Brett Gardner leads off. And Emilio Pagan's second inning of work on the Hyundai scoreboard. A 6-4 Yankees lead. Yankees jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Caleb Smith cruised through the first 3. Then he ran into some trouble in the 4th. Gave up 4 runs, all with 2 outs. Could not escape. Since Chad Green and Dylan Betances have retired all 10 hitters they face, and the Yankees used a 3-run 6 to jump back in front as Gardner smashes that foul on the right field line. An RBI single from Gardner's last at bat tied this game, and then a 2-run double from Clint Frazier put the Yankees in front.
Yeah, nice inning from Betances there. No walks, 1 strikeout. Chad Green just, gold star effort once again. His ERA's down to 1.56 on the season. As Ryan mentioned, 2.1 innings of hitless relief with 3 more punch outs, and Dellin looked good. He looked sharp.
Now Robertson warming. Betances didn't pitch yesterday. You have an off day tomorrow. He has not pitched more than 1 inning in a long time. Not since June 15th. Robertson has been worked 2 days in a row. You wonder, would Joe Girardi push Betances past the 3 outs?
It's a legitimate question. Well, we've been discussing this since the Yankees were down 4-3, and Luis Cessa was warming up. It's nice to have weapons and choices. What a difference, that trade has made for Joe Girardi's bullpen decisions.
roll to first, kicks foul.
Mentioned before, excuse me, Ryan, you know, that Brett Gardner's tied his career mark for home runs, 17. Took him over 600 at bats to hit 17 before, now just a little over 400.
Plenty of time for a new career high. That's flipped in the air to left center field. Heredia way over to make the catch with Ben Gamble there for the first out.
You know, sometimes outfielders in plays like that, and we saw last inning Gardner and Judge, you know, kind of get close together, and you could be screaming, I got it, I got it. Sometimes you just can't hear in a big major league stadium. You can almost see Gardner cringing at the thought of 6'8" and 280 coming at him.
Right.
Squishing him to end last inning.
Well, he has a different predicament than any other center fielder when it comes to balls in right center. Clint Frazier delivering in a big way again today. His 2-run double in the 6th is the difference in this game. Joe Girardi talking about liking him in that 2-hole right now with the way the Yankees lineup is configured, his speed, the quality of his at-bats that he's had.
Well, the extra base pop too. He's been a doubles machine.
And Aaron Judge hitting right behind him in the 3-hole.
He will get tested up the ladder. You know, the more he gets around the circuit, the more the scouting reports get out there. Well, what will Clint Frazier chase? And that's what everybody wants to know.
Two and two.
Pagan has shown good life on his fastball too.
Right, 93, but that had a nice pop to it.
Yeah, a little life to it through the zone.
Swing and a miss. 3 straight heaters by the bat of Frazier, and he has struck out for the 3rd time this afternoon.
Similar to Chad Green, 4-seam gash right on the corner. Good riding life from the side. It's a good pitch.
So here is Judge, who is walked twice, once intentionally. He has homered in each of the last 2 games of this series. 32 on the year. Flew out just in front of the wall in right, his first at bat today. One and two. Judge 2 RBIs behind Nelson Cruz, who leads the American League with 75. Swing and a miss. Impressive work from Pagan, who works a 1-2-3 8th inning. Bottom of the 8th, top of the order for Seattle, and David Robertson getting ready. Brought to you in part by Buick. Visit TriStateBuick.com for great lease offers. By People's United Wealth Management, ready to help you set tomorrow in motion. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2017 models. Bottom of the 8th inning in Seattle. The Yankees holding a 6-4 lead. The Yankee bullpen in the form of Chad Green and Dylan Betances has retired all 10 batters that it has faced. And David Robertson will come on in relief of Betances here in the 8th to face 1, 2, and 3 in the Mariners order. On the Hyundai scoreboard, a 6-4 Yankees lead. And Robertson working for a 3rd straight day. The last time he did that was May 27th, 28th, and 29th, when he saved 3 straight games. And if you want to really dive into it, and you're like, well, yeah, but how did he do on that 3rd straight day? He worked a 1-2-3, 9th inning, throwing 14 pitches and striking out 2. One and 2.
Well, Robertson's made adjustments as well, mainly in pitch usage. You know, in this particular year, and it's kind of been trending in this direction, and Yankee fans remember Robertson's repertoire very well, but he's throwing more curveballs than ever. Almost 44% of the time he's throwing curveballs this year. That's a jump of 15% from last year.
Grounded weakly to short. Gregorius, 1 out.
Robbie's always had a good curveball. It's kind of that spike knuckle curve, similar to what Betances throws. But he's throwing it more with more consistency. He can drop it over for a strike. He can get strikeouts with it. So that's probably the biggest difference in David Robertson from his previous Yankee tenure to now.
There was one of those curveballs.
He's just throwing it more often. He threw that pitch in 2012 with the Yankees about 17.7% of the time. This year, 43.6% of the time. So it's trended in that direction. I wouldn't say 50-50, but much more unpredictable now.
Tom Verducci had a great article this week in Sports Illustrated about just the drop in fastball usage in general, and how the Yankees are sort of leading that trend. Even though they have the highest average velocity in the major leagues, they throw the fewest percentage of fastballs of any team. And the logic behind it is batters hit fastballs at a much higher average than any other pitch. Of course, you can't exclusively throw breaking balls. It'll demean their effectiveness, but there's a balance there.
If you have a good one, yes. You know, Robertson threw his fastball 80% of the time back in 2012 with the Yankees. This year, about 55% of the time. So, yes, it's, to your point, trending that direction, and he has a good one.
Got him with the curve. 2 down.
And here, right on cue, is a good look at that one. More of a slider. A little harder. He can vary the break and the speed, the velocity on that pitch.
Yankee bullpen has retired the last 12 batters they've faced, 5 of them via strikeout. And here is Cano, who homered off Robertson last night in the 8th. This time he grounds it into the shift to Reyes there. And a smooth 1-2-3 inning from Robertson, who retires Cano on a curveball. We go to the 9th with the Yankees leading 6-4. WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show as the skipper takes a tour of the Starbucks Roastery here in Seattle. Then talks baseball over a cup of Joe. Catch a new episode immediately following Yankees coverage only on Yes. Top of the 9th inning in Seattle, and the Yankees holding a 6-4 lead. And it'll be 4, 5, and 6 for the Yankees. Gary Sanchez 0 for 4. Popped down with the bases loaded and 1 out last time, but drives that deep to left field. Gamble going back will make the catch right at the wall for the first out.
Looks like Gary on an off-speed pitch is just a bit in front of this. Oh, so close. We see the Mariners outfielders leave indentation in walls this series. Gerard Dyson left about 4 of them in that play in yesterday's game.
Gamble 1 there. Yankees 3, 4, 5 hitters in this game now 0 for 12. But 6 through 9 has gotten the job done with 6 of the Yankees' 9 hits. Holiday grounded out with the bases loaded his last time up, and he just gets out of the way of that. 2-0.
Just a little Chen music.
Three 3-0. Aroldis Chapman up in the Yankee pen. Trying to lock down the Yankees' first series victory since June 9th through the 11th. Holiday swinging 3-0. Fouls it back. Does it feel like there are more 3-0 swings than ever before?
Yes, I mean, Joe Girardi has turned loose just about everybody in the lineup this year. Seen Aaron Judge swing 3-0 several times. Holiday, of course. Sanchez.
We saw Todd Frazier as well earlier. That's inside ball 4, and Holiday works a walk. And now Jacoby Ellsbury will pinch run for Matt Holiday. Of course, last night, with 2 outs in the 9th, Joe Girardi pinch ran Ellsbury for Didi Gregorius. He stole second, and then scored on a Ronald Torreyes single. I'm not sure what exactly is going on, but Didi Gregorius is waiting for something at the dish. Or maybe Ellsbury is. Maybe.
Protect your thumb on a head first slide.
So the equipment now in the right hands, and Gregorius, who has already homered twice today, up with Ellsbury on first and 1 out. And Gregorius just missed that. Mile high into shallow right. Haniger makes the catch for the 2nd out.
Get another look on a first pitch fastball right there. The body language tells you all you need to know, as Gregorius knows that he just got under that one. He's trying to go for 3. He's never hit 2 in a game. He's got 2. He wanted 3.
Got it.
Nice day for Headley. Double and 2 walks. Couple nice plays at first base too.
It was his walk that started the Yankees rally in the 6th. Roped a double in the 7th. And Pagan steps off. Check on Ellsbury.
See, over Headley's last 32 games now, batting .321.
And that number goes up today.
Coming into this game, yes. 35 for 109 is Headley. To raise his average up into the mid 260s from the mid 230s.
Will Ellsbury try and get into scoring position here? Another check on him. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Another check on Ellsbury. Pagan has done a nice job out of the Mariners' pen thus far. After the Yankees got to Pazos and Tony Zick.
See, we got Pagan paying attention. Even though an 0-2 count and 2 outs, it's a good time to steal because you're anticipating a pitch in the dirt potentially.
Ellsbury not going, and it's 1-2.
Same applies here.
Headley hits that fair into the right field corner. It'll be cut off by Haniger. Ellsbury rounding third. He is being sent home. Here's the throw from Cano. It is on time, off target, but the tag is there from Ruiz to retire Ellsbury for the final out of the night. A well-executed relay as Ruiz went and got the throw from Cano and turned back and was just able to tag out Ellsbury. Look at the Land Rover drives of the game.
Yeah, it's the first time in Didi Gregorius' career that he's hit 2 home runs in one game. And 2 good swings back-to-back. Didi Gregorius in the 2nd inning and the 4th inning, both off of Giovanni Gallardo, the starter, the Land Rover drives of the game.
Yankees with a 6-4 lead nearly added another run in the top of the 9th. But Jacoby Ellsbury just out. Right there. Got him. Another stroked ball by Headley there that set up the opportunity for Ellsbury. And now Chapman will come in to try and lock down a 6-4 win and give the Yankees their first series win since the 2nd week of June.
Yeah, two doubles for Headley today. So we look at Chapman's numbers. In honor of Nelson Cruz.
Hard off of Chapman. It caroms to Didi. He barehands it. Tried to fire it, had no chance. And now the Yankees need to make sure Aroldis Chapman is okay, as that ball was hit quite hard off of his leg.
Absolutely check on Chapman. That was scary. That ball was absolutely smoked. Another look. Looks like off the shin. Although it was hit so hard, it's hard to see, hard to really see.
Taylor Motter will pinch run for Cruz. Chapman stays in. Now remember, Yankees have Canley and Warren out there, but really don't want to use them based on the use over the last couple of days. Left in the bullpen, that is, and then Luis Sessa. Oh, and they have Motter, the pinch runner, picked off. And Headley will tag him out. What a huge out and big blunder from Motter as Chapman picks him off for the first out of the 9th.
Ouch. I mean, just he's not going anywhere. He just got fooled. Thought there was no chance Chapman would try to pick him off. You see, you're just caught. Nowhere to go. Right now, head down into the bench.
Didn't seem like an obvious pinch running situation to begin with, down 2, with Nelson Cruz being the guy who was on first. And certainly the last thing you're looking for from your pinch runner. But nice execution from Chapman and a big first out with the bases now empty as he faces Seager. Crack to center field. Gardner racing back, looking up, and it's off the wall. And Brett Gardner will lob it in after a double from Seager. And how big is the pickoff now?
Well, this is 101 miles an hour, and Seager just reverses it. Coming in hard, going out harder. Absolutely smoked.
Joe Girardi has talked about how there are macro concerns about Chapman, but still some micro, just trying to get him right. So far, 2 hard hit balls.
Yeah, just nothing looks easy for him now. No real noticeable dip in velocity, or not, no real telltale sign other than the fact that everything's hard right now for him.
That goes by Sanchez. And on to third will go Seager.
Thought maybe it went through the mitt. I mean, barely getting any leather on that one. We'll have to ask after the game whether or not Sanchez was looking for a slider. Didn't look like it. Looked like he just whiffed. Usually when a catcher gets crossed up, you see some movement on his glove.
Conference between Sanchez and Chapman. Joe Girardi talked for a while today about Sanchez's defense, how he has missed some balls this year he shouldn't, but it's part of the development he expects with a young catcher. And that they've had to make more adjustments than they did when he first came up last year. That pitch actually wasn't that far away from being a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, maybe Sanchez was trying to frame it, but that just barely even touched his glove.
Chapman trying to get the batter with a 2-run lead and a 2-1 count. Strike 2.
No problem with velocity, 101 miles an hour.
The 2-2. Fly ball down the right field line. That'll twist into the seats.
It's easy to play the what-if game, but if you're a base runner and you got picked off as a pinch runner, Seager's a tying run right here with one out. If had the runner not been picked off.
Popped up high in the infield. Torreyes shading, makes the catch, and the Yankees are an out away from a series win. So it's left to Ben Gamel, who has been a pest all series against the Yankees. As Chapman tries to send the Bombers home on a happy flight. With Seager on third and 2 outs and a 6-4 lead. 0-1.
And of course, it's Ben Gamel, right? The guy who's really hurt the Yankees this whole series. He's going to come up with 2 outs.
Oh, 2. 102 miles an hour, and Gamel couldn't even react.
Yeah, and at the belt, almost the letters. High strike.
The Yankees fans in attendance on their feet. The 0-2. 103. 1-2.
That's a different level of gas right there. You see a lot of guys throw 98. That to me throw 103.
The 1-2. He got him. Strike 3, 102 miles an hour. And for the first time in 6 weeks, the Yankees have won a series.